Hi, everybody. So tonight, I'll try to tell you two stories and introduce Overbond a little bit. Happy Pride, by the way. My partner Dwayne is in the background. Thanks, Dwayne, for coming down tonight. It's exciting what's happening in finance. A lot of industry sectors go through these really important waves in transformative, kind of like complete change. And one of those industry sectors in, I'd say now, 20-year time horizon is finance. It's no mistake or no accident that we're in an RBC venue tonight. And a lot of other finance companies really focusing on this technology power and a wave that technology can bring. So we're a startup, local startup, and we are playing in this sector. We apply artificial intelligence, combining data sets in traditional finance and in secondary market, which is a capital markets traded universe, to, guess what? Predict the future. So why is this important? It's important because we wouldn't have electricity if Toronto Hydro, pre or post-election, or Hydro One didn't raise some money in the capital markets to finance their balance sheet. So this kind of natural flow of capital is extremely important for any function. Our mission is to enable all the counterparties in that mix so that they can do that efficiently. So can we predict the future? It turns out that it's easier in finance than perhaps in other facets of life, because everything you do in finance, if you lend money to somebody or if you make a transaction of sorts, it's fully audited. It has a trail record. So you can go back in history. In capital markets, you can go back 20 years and have a full trail record of everything that happened. That allows you to model or apply AI and literally predict the future. So that does not mean that our path to success, as Sachin has mentioned, is straight line. It is actually a squiggly line that is full of different lessons learned. Some people call it failures, some people call it opportunities. So there's a story of a product that we tried to launch a year and a half ago, which from the engineering perspective, how many people here are developers? All right. So if you're a developer, you would have worked on this product and it would be 100% finished a year and a half ago. And we launched it and it didn't work. And then a year and a half later, we launched basically from the engineering perspective, the same technology, but the positioning, the marketing, the campaign was a completely different campaign, and it worked. It raised about $6 billion of interest in Canadian marketplace. So lesson there is that there's an end-to-end thinking in my mind that requires not just a tech, but also all the other functions in the marketplace to work together. How many people here are data scientists? Oh, wow, only 4? All right. So Overbond is a bit like a data laboratory. You experiment, it's kind of like a university lab. And when you experiment, what happens first is you fail. What probably happens second, you stumble upon something you didn't expect. So that happened to us. We were failing, and then stumbled upon something that we didn't really want, but it was actually extremely valuable in another side, which was in capital markets, a pricing feed as opposed to predicting who will do a transaction. And I guess the lesson there was you got to be open to this roller coaster journey that the startup is, and kind of embrace it with the open heart. So if I may conclude, because I have one more minute, The story number 3 is, how do you survive those first 2 stories? The one that entails unsuccessful campaigns, or the second that requires you to react to unexpected outcome. In my case is just the startup. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's the creation from zero up, and it's just the most fulfilling thing that you can do. Happy Bride. Thank you.
Questions.
All right.
Hi.
Yeah.
To your right, or sorry, your left. Yeah. So I just wanted to know what you think your differentiators between your company and maybe some of the large competitors you would have, like a Bloomberg or something like that. What keeps you in the market and gets you past these challenges and opportunities?
Yeah, so let's take Bloomberg as an example. So secondary market traded securities universe, it's one data set. We combine that data set with a data set that comes from kind of more investment banking world. So traditionally investment bankers and traders kind of don't talk. There's a concern about leakage. Actually through data and that recorded history, you can combine both, and with AI you obviously have a pickup in terms of the predictive correlations that you can come with. I don't think Bloomberg does that, by the way.
Over here to your right.
Hello? Hi. I just have 2 questions. One is, so is this app or software you are have invented, does it predict stock prices at all, like individually, or?
Short answer, yes. Just not stock prices, bond prices.
Oh,
so
like, okay. And the second is, since you said you worked at Deutsche Bank, is it time to buy the dip?
it was in 2014-15, so no comment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
To your left. First of all, thank you very much for your presentation. My question is, how do you try to handle things that can't be quantified? So for example, let's say the Iran deal, and you can't use metrics to try and gauge Trump's decision on the Iran deal and how that would affect bond yield.
So I'm not a data scientist, but I'll tell you I'm fascinated about the field. What my data scientists on our team have taught me is that there's a lot of unqualified variables that powerful computing power and modeling can solve for. So it's not that you have to create a variable for every input. That's more kind of a linear statistical approach. You actually can have unknown variables that model can solve for. I don't know if that was too technical, but it's extremely powerful if you think about it.